The exterior lighting on my house is terrible, and I've been looking for things to help light up the outside, and guess what? I finally found something. Check this out. Now you have to admit, that was pretty sweet. Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. And as you saw, we are looking at Eufy's permanent lighting solution for the exterior of your house. Enough talk, let's get right into this review. We are going to be using Eufy's Permanent Outdoor lights. This is their E120. I really like that this is app enabled and seamlessly connects to our existing Eufy app. That's pretty sweet. You get 6 different light strings in here with a total of 100 feet. There are 60 dual LEDs and it does have AI technology. As for the price, I've seen it range from $200 to $300 depending on different sales that the company has. Let's open this up and start the process. That is pretty cool. When you open it up, it actually has a picture of a house and they have some of their lights mounted in there. I think you're supposed to be able to plug this in and see the lights on this fake house. I'm going to try that. Sure enough, we open the side box and all the wires were already connected. I'm going to plug it in. Let's see if anything happens. Oh, that's some flashing lights right there. All right, cool. Well, that's neat. Can you see they're actually oscillating or going through different lighting patterns? Pretty neat. There was a set of directions that gave you a QR code to go to a website to show you how to install it, but I'm just going to walk you through that process. So it comes with this 4-inch or 10-centimeter card. You're supposed to have a minimum distance between the wall and your light of 4 inches. What I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to set this up to the Eufy Life app, but what I want to do is make sure all the lights are working, so I'm just going to plug them all in, including my extension line, just to make sure all the lights work. You can see that there's a tab at the bottom. You're supposed to just line that up with the other side, push, and there it is. When you're ready for the final install, there is this nut to tighten it down to make it watertight. We just plugged it in, all of our connections work. We can see that we're oscillating through all of those different colors. Now let's hook it to our Eufy Life app. We have our Eufy Life app open, so let's add device. It is, of course, our light string. We have connected them all, so let's hit next. Now it wants us to push and hold the button right here for 2 seconds. Our lights flashed 3 times. Look, it found our perimeter lights. Let's click on that. It looks as though they are pairing nicely, and that's actually pretty quick. You can either choose to control it with your Bluetooth or your Wi-Fi. I'm going to do the Wi-Fi because it might be a little easier. In reading through the directions that were provided by the app, these 2 items are actually supposed to be installed in a dry climate. Cannot be installed outside where it's susceptible to any kind of moisture. Now, Eufy does say in the app that if you don't have access, they will send you a dry box that can be mounted, but this kind of stuff right here needs to be mounted inside or in a dry box where they won't get wet. The rest of the product can get wet because it has an IP67 weather rating. Of course, each of these 60 LEDs, you're going to have to peel off that protective plastic, so make sure you do that before you go out to install. There are actually 2 different ways to install this, either a semi-permanent or a permanent. If you want semi-permanent or removable, you could just use these 3M stickers, but it should be known that that's not a permanent thing. So if you're going to install these and you want to leave them up all the time, that will fail over time. To do it permanently, you need to use these clips that actually screw down and hold the wire. I'm going to show you what that looks like when I'm installing because I'll use these clips. In order to get to the full length, it does come with 6 different cord lengths that are 16.4 inches long, and of course there is a single extension cable that's 12 feet long. So tell me, what are your thoughts of this permanent outdoor lighting from Eufy? Something you'd consider? Not so much? Do you have something else you'd recommend? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. You could absolutely install this by using a ladder, but for me, I'm going up to the 2nd story and there's some parts where I just can't reach with a ladder, and so I want to be completely safe, so I have a lift to help me along with the install process. As you can see, we've used our 4-inch template up against the wall. I actually put it underneath the J channel here, and then we secured, using the 3M sticker, we secured the light there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tie in the cabling with the permanent installation, but this way at least it's hanging there and holding tight. The video of me installing my permanent clips didn't come out very well, so I'm just going to replicate it here. So every other light is what Eufy recommends, and there's these clips that would accommodate that. So what I would do is I would install the light, Then I would peel off the backing, install the clip on one of the sides of the light, and then screw it into the softening. I will say for me, there were some instances where I used two clips, like if it was my first light on the line or last light on the line, I would install a double clip. I do appreciate this extra clip to secure the lights, therefore they're not really gonna fall off. I will say, I wish that Eufy's connections between the two lines were the exact same spacing as they were between LED and LED, because if you made the entire long run, it would just leave a wider gap. So that's why I have some of this wire tucked up and in like that, just so it's the same distance apart. It is important to plan ahead because there's nothing worse than reaching the end of your line and you still have extra softening but no more lights to install. There are so many different things you can do with this app right now. I have it on the warm white, but if you want to switch it to the cool white, it's just a touch of a button. And of course you can do pure white, really just what you like. I kind of like the warm white. Cool thing is they also have some pre-loaded light settings. Let's just see what it looks like for New Year's Day. See how that just takes over and now your lighting is set for New Year's. That is very cool. One thing I want to show you is this AI feature. That's where you can actually just come down here and type in your very own AI, your mood, whatnot. I'm just going to type in, let's see, Buffalo Bills. Let's see what happens. Generate. Oh, look at that. They're putting the blue. Oh, look, you can see the red and the white all over. It's actually just pretty cool. Of course, I'm going to go back to that soft white light that we showed earlier. It's called warm white. Right now, you can see that it's at 90%. You can actually turn it brighter. I'm going to turn it down to see what it looks like around 50 because I don't want it too bright. But you can even go a little lower just to give you a subtle lighting of your outside area. In this video, we are looking at Eufy's permanent outdoor lighting, the E120. So what did I think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. I saw it range anywhere from $200 to $300. This sort of aligns with other products that are similar out there on the market. I appreciate the ease of install. When I say ease of install, it's really just peel a sticker and stick. Maybe you're going to throw some screws on there if you're using that wired hardware. It should be known, however, that you will need a ladder. There is some forward thought and planning involved, and in my case, I ended up renting a lift. And the reason I did that was because some of my house is so high up and you really can't reach it with a ladder. So that's something that you should note as well. If you don't feel safe or comfortable with doing that, there are people out there that would do this for you, but of course they charge for their service. It's important to note that these lines can in no way be modified. Every line comes with 10 LEDs and you have to have 10 LEDs on there in order for it to work. Although you cannot modify the light strings in any way, you do not need to use all of them for your install. Like for me, it came with 6, but I only ended up using 4, and so the other 2 I just have in storage in case they come out with any splitters that I wanted to do other areas in the future. The cool thing is though, through the app, you can actually deactivate some of the lights. So if there are parts of the areas that you don't want to have lights on, you can actually turn those off through the app. That's a pretty cool feature. In all, it took me around 4 hours to do this complete install, and that's from start to finish. So do plan on dedicating some time to the install process. I noticed that when I was doing this, I came to a few parts where I wish I could have extended a line, but Eufy did not offer them in additional strands. So I kind of hope down in the future, you might get some 3, 5, or 7 strand LEDs. So if you want to extend the run a little longer. I would also love them to have a Y splitter because for me, going around the porch would have been a cool addition as well. All in all, it was a pretty seamless installation, and I really appreciate the app integration and all the different things that you can do inside that app. It is pretty cool. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I like how that these Eufy Permanent E120 lights don't just light up my house, but when turned on, it also lights up the area. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the Eufy Permanent Outdoor Lights, the E120. You know what? I reviewed quite a few of the Eufy products, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link a playlist. I'm going to put that right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm going to join you right here. So go ahead, click it. It's safe. I promise.